Welcome all you +2 comedy modifiers back to the stream. Welcome back to solving. This is what is this, Scottish? That wasn't pirate at all. Welcome back to Sleuth Kings. So last time we did this, and I'm already seeing it, we had a little bit of an issue with the stream. So hopefully I'm seeing a little bit of issues with the video, but the sound should be good. Last time the sound didn't work out. So if you've never seen this before, welcome to Sleuth Kings. That gives me a headache. This is where I try to solve one of the Sleuth Kings subscription boxes, and this is case 23. Case 23. This is a soon-to-be retired case, which is why I've been given permission to stream it for you, my Twitch and YouTube audience. So a few things. I have permission. Wanted to let that know. I am going to spoil this whole thing. So if you want to do this yourself, I understand that you'd have to leave. But if you want to try a Sleuth Kings box at all, use the promo code +2. That's PLUSTWO. And you'll get $5 off your first box from Sleuth Kings. So give that a try. And if you've never tried one of these before, hang out with me and we will do this one right here. Now, last week, we did do episode 1 of this, and due to some audio issues, it just didn't work. The audio kept cutting out, but I think looking at everything now, everything looks like it's working. So minus an occasional screen glitch, but that just makes things creepier, so it's fine. Everything seems to be working okay. So we're going to kind of start over. I have made some progress, but I've done things up very nicely so you can fully enjoy this experience. So it came with an eye patch, and it came with a bunch of other stuff. So don't block the branding. So we have a story. So I'm going to start by reading the story. And then we will go through all of these wonderful clues. It all starts right here with this lovely piece of art. So I will establish. Oh, and also this is epilogue. So I know it's covered in wires right now, but this is our reward. So once we're done, we'll open this bad boy. All right. So here's today's case, gang. Asuna Yakamura, a freshman at Flyer High School, which I want to point out, Flyer was one of the answers for the previous case we did. So I just thought that was a fun little Easter egg. And the leader of the Young Detectives Clubs called me in a panic earlier today. She started off by telling me that her map had been stolen. At first I thought she'd lost it, but eventually she calmed down enough to explain what had happened. Apparently, Asuna bought a painting from the local state sale a few days ago. Originally, she had bought it for the frame because kids love frames, but wound up with a whole lot more than she expected. When she opened it up, inside the frame was a letter, which I have here. Boom. And an eye patch. Ooh. And on the back of the painting was a map that someone had sketched out. Boom. Map. After reading the letter, Asuna realized that she wasn't looking at a regular map. It was a treasure map, and that's how the club's latest case began. After running all over the city collecting clues, Asuna's report on the next page will give you more details. She and her friends were finally ready to begin their treasure hunt in earnest. Unfortunately, Haley Burkett, another student at Flyer High, found out about the treasure map. Haley and her friends stole the map and the clues from Asuna's club room and threatened the club members to keep quiet about it. Haley told the club that if she were to go to the principal or their parents about the situation, she'd make their lives miserable. According to Asuna, it wouldn't be the first time Haley ruined somebody's life, whatever that means. High school, you know. All of the club members, except for Asuna, decided to give up on the treasure hunt. Even so, Asuna is more determined than ever to find it before Haley does. In order to do that, however, she needs help. Since we've worked together a few times in the past, she has decided to call me. Not me, Sullivan. At first, I wasn't sure what you and I could do to help since the map itself was taken. As much as I hate to see the bully win, I can't really go steal something back from a kid, even if they had it coming. Luckily, however, we don't have to worry about that. Asuna made copies of everything just in case something happened to the original. So, we have copies of all the clues. Haley and her friends have a head start. If we're going to beat them to the treasure, you, me, Asuna have to work together. It'll be a close race, but Asuna is counting on us to help her win, and I intend to do just that. So we gotta help this girl. We're gonna do it. You and me and the internet, and it's gonna be fun. So this is what Asuna has to say to us. Everything started when my mom went to an estate sale. I bought a frame because it was only $2, so I couldn't pass it up. When I bought the frame home and opened it, a folded letter and an eye patch fell out. I picked up the letter and read it, of course, and could hardly believe my eyes. It was short. Sullivan would include a copy of the letter for you to read. So here's the letter. Congratulations, you found my treasure map. If you're reading this, I've passed on. It's okay. I know it's come from a long time. I had a good life. I loved, I laughed, and had all sorts of adventures with my family by my side. And now it's my turn to pass on one final adventure. I've hidden something very special and left this map along with a few other things to help you find it. Before you can read the map, you'll need 4 things that I've left around the city. Each location, tell them that Novelda, I think that's how you say her name, Novelda Bright sent you. Find the items and they'll lead you to the treasure. Now, you take a look at this. There's, I'll just do it this way. There were some coded messages on this, but luckily the young adventurers have already solved them for us. So they went to each one of these locations. Our first stop was the library circulation desk. None of us were sure what to expect, but the librarian knew what we needed when I mentioned Mrs. Bright's name. She said that shortly before Mrs. Bright passed away, Mrs. Bright asked the library to hold on to an envelope for her. I was so excited that I ruined the envelope when I opened it, but I've included copies of the note and the puzzle book page that was inside. Sullivan labeled it Clue 1. So let's talk about Clue 1 right now. Clue 1 is this note. Sometimes when you need to get your life's final message across, it's best to figure out what not to say. Once you've done that, you need to find the words and see what comes after them. Here's a list of words I don't think you need. And then here, I have scanned in for you so we can all take a look at it, the puzzle page. And I've done it already because, I don't know, did you want to watch me do a word search? I don't think so. So I wrote at the bottom of the page, which is currently being blocked by my camera. So hold on as I shift around a bit. Hey, we're going to go handheld for a moment. The words that are the letters that are left over from all the words that are on the bottom of this note that I've crossed out for us spell ran, arose, team, firmly, and book. Team, arose, firmly, and book. So that's going to be important for later. I'll put that's a good look, right? You can see pretty much everything that you need to see from this look. There you go. So that's going to be important in a moment. Back to our story. Next thing, we went to the Dalton Art Museum and talked to Mrs. Bright, former art teacher. She said Mrs. Bright had asked her to hold on to a page of notes that she had put together for one of the classes. I'm not sure if that's what we're actually supposed to find, but the teacher said she didn't know of anything else that Miss Bright had left behind. That being the case, we labeled the notes Clue 2. So here's Clue 2 for you. To me, it was very clearly a Sudoku. So I filled in the Sudoku here, and we're going to wait a little bit more in the story for why I have some stuff underlined. But I solved the Sudoku because, again, did you really want to watch me solve a Sudoku? I don't think you did. So the Sudoku is, in fact, solved. Did I cover up my branding again? The third place that Miss Bright told us to visit was the Classic Discovery radio station. I had been really excited because I had never been to a radio station before. At first, nobody at the station knew anything of Mrs. Bright had left behind. Eventually, though, the lady helping us remembered that Mrs. Bright had asked her to give a program schedule to whoever were asking about her. We included that as Clue 3, which is right here. So that's the program schedule. I have some theories about that we'll go into in a moment. After going to the radio station, the last piece Mrs. Bright told us to go over was the Burnside Theater. A theater where they have a bunch of plays and musicals. My club all split up around to ask around, but I got lucky with Will Call. Mrs. Bright had purchased a season ticket and asked that they hold on to it along with her schedule and give it to whoever asked about it. I marked the schedule as Clue 4. The ticket won't do much for us, but Sullivan said I should include it, so I did. Sullivan had agreed to let me use his email. I'll show Clue 4 in a bit. If I need to talk to you with help, and so I've sent the email. This is just like how the game works. Once we have the answer, we'll send them an email. There's no way we can let Haley find the treasure first. I'm sick and tired of trying to bully everyone that takes everything you want. I want to stand up to her and show her that you can't always win. I'm counting on you and Sullivan, and now the internet, to help me do just that. Haley and her friends are already trying to make sense out of it, but we need to help. Send an email when you know stuff. Blah, 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 blah. We can also ask them for help. So, there's one thing that's included in this that they didn't mention, and that's the obituary of Miss Bright here, or Mrs. Bright. And you will notice that the note says, sometimes when you need to get your final message across. So it's kind of referring to this obituary, which I have for you right here. But I've apparently put in the wrong location. So hold on. Blank. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm sorry I did this. I don't need the Sudoku right now. My name is Novella Bright. I was born on August 17th, 1939, in a small hospital beside where the Ohio River ran north. I met my late husband when we both reached for the same novel on a shelf. Still can't believe how much love arose from the library. From traveling the world to searching the treasure, I've had so many adventures. The best adventures, however, were raising my sons, Bill and Dennis, and watching them build families of their own. I love you both. I will miss being part of the trivia team, Sudoku Stars. I love laughing at your answers and then being able to firmly give words. To firmly give words. It's just a funny sentence. To my grandchildren, I still want you to practice finding a book to read in sentences. Reading can take you to such magical places. Don't ever forget that. I will miss each and every one of you. But it's time for me to go. I'm off for my next great adventure. And I do want to say, in physically holding it, There's like ads on the back, which is a nice little touch to make it seem like it's actually a newspaper. So, there's a 1967 Impala for sale. It's black. It's in great condition. Cash only, though. They're looking for a band director. The school's looking for a band director. Degree required, though. Have you seen my dog? He's not lost, just awesome. I ran this ad to let you know. And now you know. So, here's what's interesting about this. Let's once again pull up the word find. And if you take a look at the word find, which I actually have a copy of somewhere in my pile of crap here. Or not. In any case, you can see it on screen. Those words that we found are ran, I'm looking over my camera, ran, arose, team, firmly, and book. If you look at the obituary, all those words appear in this obituary. The Ohio River ran north. So, if we take that, we want the words that follow according to this. God, this is so hard to explain, but it's awesome. The note for the word search says, once you've done that, once you've found the words that were not needed in the word search, you need to find the words that comes after them. So let's take the words that come after. We're going to go handheld again so I can look at this. That come after each one of the words we found. So after ran is north. After arose is from the library. So north from the library. After team, it's Sudoku stars. Sudoku? Sudoku or Sudoku? Sudoku stars. After team, it's Sudoku stars. After firmly, it says give words. Sudoku stars give words. And after book, to read in sentences. So we have north from the library, Sudoku stars give words to read in sentences. So, what I believe we have to do now is bring up the Sudoku. And you'll see there are 2 stars here, and they're 3 and 5. I'm pointing with my mouse, and I just realized you can't see it. So there are 2 stars there in the bottom right-hand corner box, those 6 numbers. There's 2 that are labeled with stars, and that's the 3 and the 5. And if you take the Sudoku and you read only the 3rd and 5th word in each sentence, you get left after passing, next place, cut, left after passing, next place, cut, crisp, and Barry from music schedule, a line note with crossbones. So, if we take a look at the music schedule, which I have here, where's my mouse so I can show you? Boom. If we want to remove Crisp and Barry, Diana Crispo and Barry are in the 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. slot and the 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. slots Monday through Friday. That is Barry Crispo and Diana, or Barry Capello and Diana Crispo. So I think that's what it's referring to. So I think I need to actually cut this up with a pair of scissors, which I'm afraid to do, but I think that's what I got to do. I also think that there's more to this. I think, because the first part of the message we got from the obituary is north from the library. And then the first part of this is a little like janky. Left after passing. I think that's its own part. And then next, place, cut, Crisp, and Barry from music schedule. I feel like place almost shouldn't be there. Next, cut, Crisp, and Barry from music schedule. Align note with Crossbones. So, I think that's what we got to do. I think we have to cut those things from the music schedule. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep them together as one thing. That's what I'm going to do for now, or if I'm supposed to separate them. But we're making the choice. We're making the choice now. There's no going back. I got my scissors, and we're going to cut this up. So I don't want you guys to miss fun arts and crafts time. So, branding. I'm cutting it out of this. Here we go. I hope I'm right. And then I'm supposed to place it onto the crossbones. All right, so we'll cut this out. I don't want to like shred it in case I ever have to try to put it back together. All right, so I created this. I just realized if you looked on the other side, you can actually see, I didn't scan this, but that's Barry and that's Crispo. Crispo's here. These two people, maybe I was supposed to cut them out personally. Well, it did say cut out from schedule. Oh, I butchered this cutting too. Ugh. In any case, let's bring up the map here. So if we look at this map, and they're saying place it on crossbones, and we see there's a bunch of different crossbones here. So here's the library. It's upside down, but it says library. So the north would be like here. So maybe like that. I mean, those reach. Maybe I'm supposed to get the numbers like 3, 10, 5. Those don't reach. Those don't reach. Those don't reach. 9 and 4 reach. 8 and 9 reach. But I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with this. That's definitely interesting. Okay, so now we got to talk about this last clue, this theater clue. And I'm a little bit stuck here. So here is the schedule of performances. And you can see here very clearly that there's something up with these symbols that are located on here. There's clearly these weird... see? There we go. There's these weird arrows and X's, which usually it reminds me of a Pigpen cipher, but I don't have anything to support that. So in looking at it, I don't see any like pattern with the colors in terms of matching it with the map, because if you look at the map, which I got to make this go away for you to see, there are these symbols here as well, which could easily just be mistaken for V's, since there's other letters here. But these V's and these X's match those symbols pretty well. But I don't know how they relate at this point. Another big clue that we have, though, is this. This is the reserved performances, because she had a season pass, as explained in the story. And you can see that the season pass matches the dates on the calendar that have symbols on it, but not perfectly. There's not one for the 3rd. She's not going on the 3rd to see Witches and Wizards, which is foolish. That sounds like a great show. There is one for Smiling Jack on the 5th. The Music of Beethoven is not a reserved show, but Lizzie and a Tizzy is on the 10th. Sorry, quick, had a small theory brewing, but we'll come back to it. The Children's Choir, the Noir Cats, which I think we should all go see, That sounds like an amazing show. Noir Cats is on there. Book of Mama on the 23rd is there. Pirates on the 25th is not, but on the 28th is. And then From the Abyss is apparently a show that she's not planning to see because she doesn't have tickets to that one at all, despite its symbols on the calendar. I was wondering if there are the same number of symbols as there are letters in the show. And immediately that is wrong, because Lizzie and a Tizzy is a total of, 13 symbols. And there's way more than that right there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, it's more than 13. It's more than 13. So I don't know what those symbols mean. We could always ask Sullivan for a hint, but I don't know. I feel like there should be something here. I just don't know how to see it. In terms of colors matching and symbols matching the map, let's take a look again at the map. So, like I was saying, we do have the blue. We have a blue V, an orange V, an orange X, a green V, a green X, a green V, a green V. The other issue is I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to hold this map. I think I'm holding it correctly, despite the fact that the library's upside down and the Diana's craft store is upside down, the courthouse is upside down. All these letters are currently correct. Like, the T is clearly correct. The J is clearly correct. The L is clearly correct. The E is clearly correct. So I'm guessing that this is the orientation we want for this map. Where is my copy of... Did I leave it in my... I might have left it in my scanner. Alright. So I'm looking at this versus this. And I'm trying to figure out what the connection is here. So let's just look at the first day, which is the Wizards here. No, wait. Wizards was not one of the reserved ones, so maybe we should skip it. Maybe we should go to Smile. Well, actually, now I'm not sure. Which one was reserved? Smile and Jack. So we'll start with Smile and Jack. So we're skipping the third and moving right to the fifth. What are the numbers? Just out of curiosity now. 5, 10, all right, 17, 19, 23, 28, which they don't easily flip over into numbers, but 5 would be E if it's just like an A26 cipher. Quiet airplane. Oh, you know what? My Farfetched is not up, and it's making my window too bright. Let me put up Farfetched. And my green screen's not in the right spot. Well, Farfetched is hiding. All right, my nose itches like crazy. I'm sorry I keep playing with it. I'm going to get into a fight soon. So let's really break down what's going on here. So if we look at the first one, which is Smiling Jack, we get purple V, red X, green C, and then green X. Are those all symbols that show up here? There's a purple V, but it's the wrong orientation. Like, that's more of a purple carrot is what we'll call that. It's definitely a purple V in this, which is interesting. Then a red X, which there does not appear to be a red X. That's orange. That's green. And then the green C is here. And that's a green X. I feel like we're missing something big. Because right now it's a lot of just random guessing. I guess, here's a thought. How many colors are there? There's red, there's green, there's purple, there's blue, and there's orange. And then there's black. So there's 6. And then the different orientations would be carrot, V, C. I don't see any like reverse C's. I don't see any Pac-Mans going the other way on this. There are some on here though. There's no black on here either. Basically, here's what I'm trying to like kind of force here. There's the V going in 4 different directions plus X, right? So that's 5 different permutations, right? And then there are 5 colors on the schedule. There's purple, red, green, orange, and blue. So if each symbol, if we think of each symbol as a unique thing, all right? That gives us 25 different symbols. There are 26 letters, so maybe it doesn't use X or Q. So maybe we can look at this as potentially like a jumble, like not a jumble, a crypto. Like maybe this is something we can decode. So maybe I will try just writing them all down, assigning each one a letter, just so we can like mentally be like, this is what letters look like. Just stay with me. And then trying to engineer them into words. That sounds like a decent plan. All right, let me steal some of this paper. Grab my red pen that I've been using. Boom! All right, so... All right, so orange C is the first thing. No, wait, that's witches. We're not paying attention to witches. So get rid of that. We're looking at Smiling Jack because that's what's on the reserve card. So looking only at Smiling Jack, which I know you can't really see very well, but that's what we're doing. Maybe I could do this. Boom. And then blammo. Okay. No, that's the wrong one. Hold on. All right, so we're only looking at Smiling Jack. So first we have purple. I need to make this just this touch is smaller. All right, so let's do that. So we can kind of look at things and think. Or just, maybe we can just move it. There we go. So we're looking at Smiling Jack here. Purple C is, or purple V is the first thing that we're seeing. We're going to call that A for now. Just for now. We're just calling that A. All right. And then red X. Red X will be B for now. This is just so we can write them out. Okay. Or you know what? Instead of doing it this way, this is just a harder way to do it. Let's trying to think of an easier way to do this for us. All right. So let's just establish there's red, green, blue, orange, and what's the last one? Red, green, blue, purple, orange. Red, green, blue. Oh, I didn't purple. And we know that there is a V, what we're calling a C, a caret, a reverse C, and an X, right? So we're going to just assign them randomly. A, B, C, D, and E. This is probably wrong, but this is just so we can look at it a little bit easier. For green, F, G, H, I, J. For blue, K, L, M, N, O. For orange, P, Q, R, S, T. And for purple, U, I should have made V and X at least line up, right? But it looks like I didn't do that. V, W, X, and Y, all right? This is just so we can write them as letters so it's easier for us to try to decode them as messages, if that's even what we're supposed to do. So let's look at Smiling Jack. We have decided a purple V will be a U for process of solving. A red X will be an E. A green C will be a G. And a green X will be a J. Then a red caret we decided would be a C. A blue caret we decided would be an M. A green X we decided would be a J. And then a red X we decided would be an E. So we know we didn't guess right, if anything. And then a green V we decided would be an F. And then we have an orange C, which we're calling a Q. And another red X, which we're calling an E. That might be correct, because we've gotten so many red X's already, and E is the most common letter. A purple C, which we're calling a V, just for extra confusion. And then a green X, which we are calling a J. All right, so first thoughts, E shows up the most. So that's probably, if not E, is at least a vowel. I'm going to kind of do this to kind of separate it. J ends a word twice, so possibly could be S. I don't know. So then next is Lizzie in a Tizzy, which is on the 10th. So we're going to try to write that out. I'm already seeing red X's, which again makes me think it's an E. This one actually has one at the end of the word, which again makes me think it's an E. Because that's the most common vowel to end a word. There's not a lot of words that like end in U. There's a couple that end in like A and O, but E is far more common. So let's try to like really crack this. So we have a red backward C, which we are calling a D. We have a purple caret, which we have dubbed a W. We have my nose. I'm so sorry. I keep scratching it. A green C, which we are calling a G. We have a... Wait, where did I get that? Is that green or is that blue? I think that's blue. So that's actually an L. I'll switch that to an L. And then we have an orange reverse C, which we have deemed an S. There's dirt under this. We have... Where am I? Reverse C, and then we have a red C, which we are calling a B for extra confusion. Could have made that line up, chose not to. Then we have a blue C, which we have called an L. And then we have an orange C, which we have dubbed the Q. And then finally for this line, we have the reverse blue C, which we have dubbed an N. It's a bigger word. This could be an ing situation here. That could be an ing. It could be a verb. And then we got a small word, which usually means the. I'm trying to see if we have a collection of 3 identical symbols at any point. Phone's buzzing. It's just the weather report. I don't see that. I don't see anywhere on this a repeat of the same 3 symbols, because that's usually your the, since it's the most common word. But in looking through this, I don't think that's a thing we're coming across here. I do see a red X that ends... I see a red X ends 2 small words, so possibly one of them could be the, going off the theory that red X is equaling E. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, how are we doing on time? We're doing terrible on time. So let's try to write out Lizzie as a tizzy and try to see if we can glean anything from this. So next we have a blue caret, and we're calling the blue caret M. Then we have a blue C, which we are calling L. And then we have a purple C, which we are calling V. Extra, extra confusing. And then, finishing off this, we have a green X, which we are calling J. We have a green V, which we are calling F. We have a red X, which we are calling E. We have a red caret, which we are calling C. We have a... Oh man, my nose freaking itches so much. I hate it so much. Which we are calling C. So where are we at now? We have the green C, which we are calling G. We have the purple caret, which we are calling W. We have the green V again, which we are calling F. And we have another red X, which we are calling E. All right, so these are our 2 puzzles that we've written out so far. So this is Smilin' Jack, and this is Lizzie and a Tizzy. And I don't see much of a pattern showing here. Smilin' Jack's a tough puzzle because it's a bunch of short words. But E tends to continue to fall into a place that would represent a vowel, specifically E. Nothing else really is jumping out at me. Perhaps M, L, and V represent... One of those should be a vowel or a Y. I mean, in order for it to be a word, it would need that. Like looking at... Yeah, all 3 of these words have the E in it, which makes me think E actually equals E. M is a potential vowel, but that would mean it would start with A, which would probably make this the word and, A-N-D. Is there any similarity with shapes to vowels, perhaps? Like maybe since there are 5 vowels and there are 5 different X's based off of the color, maybe the X's are vowels? That doesn't seem likely. No, wait, don't look at that one. Just the X. Looking at these, the X's being vowels makes a lot of sense. Smile and Jack's a little tough because that J would be a vowel there. And I mean, AE, I guess that could make sense. My face is just the itchiest because of all the allergens and my window's open, so I'm just all screwed up. My face is just going to swell. Yeah, in looking at all the different... There is not a single one that doesn't have an X in it. No, there is. Noir Cats. Noir Cats has 2 words that don't have an X in it. So perhaps the idea that X is a vowel is wrong. And in looking at these, is there a color that I could identify as possibly all being vowels? So look at the 3-letter words. If you look at Noir Cats, red, green, and yellow. But then if you look at the children's choir on the 17th, which isn't one, right? No, it is one. The second word is blue, blue, purple. So the idea that vowels are split up by color or by shape seems to be myth-busted. There's got to be something we're missing that clearly shows what we're supposed to be doing. Like, hey, here's an idea. I'm kind of getting off the path here, but you know what we never did? We cut this piece out of the... I just cut myself on the scissors. Sup, Styles. We cut this piece out because we found the clues that told us to do that. If we look at the map, it says to lay it on the crossbones. And in doing that in certain areas, you do get letters. Like, that's a U. This one doesn't reach. This one doesn't reach. That one doesn't reach either. Doesn't reach. This one reaches and it doesn't cover a letter. All right. Same here. Another thought just dawned on me. There are 10 crossbones on this map. There are 10 things on this. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep it like this. Maybe I'm supposed to cut them off into squares. Maybe that's the way this is supposed to go. I'm supposed to stick them. That's entirely possible too. Styles is tired today. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm tired too, man. Like, I was really excited to do this box. And, like, that's the thing that's keeping me through the day. But, like, as we near 4:30, I know I'm going to turn this stream off and I'm just going to lay on the ground. Or I might play Enter the Gungeon. I'm really addicted to Enter the Gungeon. But I'm glad you were hanging out with the daughter. How's the sound, Styles? Because I've been worried about my sound this whole time. Because last time it didn't come out. This is not a clue. This is mine. What else could I look at here? Hey, here's a dumb idea. Where'd the eye patch go? I had an eye patch. Did it just like fly off my head at some point and I didn't notice? I don't know where my eye patch went. I never looked at it to see if it was a clue. There's music in the background? There shouldn't be music in the background. I don't think that... I think that's your house, because I do not have any music playing currently. That's your neighbor? That makes sense. All right. So, unfortunately, I think this is the end of the road for the day. We've made some pretty good progress, I think. We've looked at... We solved the word find. We've gotten these words out of it, which we then use to interpret the obituary, which is good. We finished the Sudoku, and the Sudoku, we were supposed to look at the words in the sentences based off of where the stars were. So the third and fifth word. And that's what gave us left after passing. Next place, cut, crisp, or place I feel like is still wrong, but next, cut, crisp, and Barry from music schedule. A line note with crossbones. Then again, perhaps note is something else. Like, perhaps it means this note, or this. This was called a letter. So I don't know about that. But this is a note. In any case, I am out of ideas. So if you have an idea of what I should do with this information, please let me know in the comments down below. Because according to Styles, who's in the chat, the sound came out right, so it's actually going to work. God, there's nothing worse than when I start the sign off and I see the viewers go up. It's like, oh no, you're here just in time for me to be like, I'm done. But thanks for coming. So what is your theories on specifically? Perhaps I did something wrong with the radio schedule. I still think the right move was to cut out Barry and to cut out Crispo. But if you think there's something more here, let me know. And then also we have this theater thing. Let me move the theater to a place where you can actually see it. So there's the theater schedule. I don't know what the connection is to the reserved performances to the calendar. There are some that have a code, some that don't. All the ones that are reserved performances have a code, but not all coded ones are reserved performances. I don't know what that means. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And once again, here is another look at the treasure map. I left the Sudoku up. Get out of here. Here's one last look at the treasure map. What do you think I'm supposed to do with this? On top of that, this is something I haven't really shown off much. This is the piece of art on the back. The green and red lines kind of make me think this needs to be folded. So maybe next time we'll start folding this bad boy. Usually, like, red will mean inside and green will mean outside. So I'll fold it like this, but like, I don't even know if I can do that. But we'll try. We'll try it all next time here on the stream. So if you want to join me, I stream this on Fridays at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join me, I'd greatly appreciate it. I stream every weekday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. The current schedule is Mondays for the Not Prawn Riddle, Tuesday is for Catherine, Wednesday is for Solving the Witness, and Thursday is for Baba Is You. And be sure to subscribe to Plus 2 Comedy Gaming so you can catch up on all my past live streams. And please leave me clues in the comments. And I will see you all next time. Boop.